company behind ChatGPT just filed to go public. The most powerful AI model ever offered to the public just went on sale Tuesday at half the price. Apple rebuilt Siri from the ground up with the help of a very unlikely partner. And Google rolled out a set of AI tools aimed specifically at small businesses. The biggest name in AI is headed for Wall Street. On Monday, the maker of ChatGPT announced it has confidentially filed for an internal public offering, or IPO. An IPO is the moment a private company starts selling its shares on the stock market. So anyone with a brokerage account can own a piece of it. And a confidential filing simply means OpenAI submitted its paperwork to regulators privately. It gets the process started without the company having to open its books to the world immediately. OpenAI hasn't set a price yet or share count or even a date, but the company itself said, quote, "It may be a while, but Reuters reports that OpenAI is targeting a valuation of up to $1 trillion. A valuation is just the total price tag investors put on a company. For context, only a handful of companies on Earth have ever been worth that much." Reuters also reports the stock market debut could come as early as this September. Now, the numbers behind the company, because they are quite staggering. Earlier this year, OpenAI was raising $110 billion from backers, including SoftBank, Amazon, and Nvidia, at an $840 billion valuation. ChatGPT now has more than 900 million weekly users and over 50 million paying subscribers. And as of March, OpenAI said it was generating about $2 billion in revenue every single month, growing by its own account roughly 4 times faster than the companies that defined the era of the internet. So here's the thing, OpenAI isn't even the first in line. Anthropic, its biggest rival and the maker of the Claude models, filed for its own IPO exactly 1 week earlier. Add SpaceX, which is racing toward what could be the largest stock market debut in history, and we may be looking at a parade of trillion-dollar scale listings as early as this fall. Why should you care? Even if you never buy a single share. First, transparency. Public companies are legally required to disclose their finances and their risks in detail. For the first time, we'll get to see what the AI giants actually earn, spend, as well as worry about. Useful intelligence for when your business increasingly runs on their AI tools. Second, permanence. The software you've been wiring your operations is graduating from a venture-backed experiment to a pillar of the public market. As of Tuesday, the most capable AI model ever offered to the public is on the market, and it costs less than the model it replaced. Anthropic released Claude Fable 5 this week. Until now, Anthropic kept its absolute top tier, a class of model called Mythos, restricted to a small group of vetted organizations, mostly doing security work. Fable 5 is the same underlying technology packaged with extra safeguards so it can be released to everyone. And those guardrails stay out of the way by the company's own numbers. They step in on fewer than 5% of sessions, quietly handling the sensitive request to an older model instead. If you've used Fable 5 here recently, you've probably noticed that for specific parts of your prompt, it may actually revert to Opus 4.8 or an earlier model. Anthropic says that Fable 5 now sets the state of the art on nearly every benchmark. Benchmarks being the standardized test researchers use to compare AI systems. The early customer story that jumped out, Stripe, the payments company, said the model completed in a single day a software migration that would have otherwise taken a team of engineers more than 2 months to complete. What about the price? Fable 5 costs $10 per million input tokens and $50 per million output tokens. Tokens are the unit AI companies bill in. Think of them as little chunks of text where 1,000 tokens is roughly 750 words. The point is that this is less than half the price of the restricted model it replaced. And if you already pay for a Claude subscription, the Pro, Max Team, or the Enterprise plan, Fable 5 is simply included free until June 22nd as a launch window. Apple finally fixed Siri. It just took Google to do it. At its annual developers conference on Monday, Apple unveiled an all-new Siri, rebuilt around modern AI, the company's biggest swing at artificial intelligence since the chatbot era. And the surprise is who's powering it. Under the hood, the new Siri runs on Google's Gemini, rather than building its own frontier AI from scratch. Apple is licensing the engine from its old rival and wrapping it in Apple's own software. So, what does this new Siri actually do? It holds real conversations instead of one-shot commands. It can understand what what's on your screen, and for the first time, it lives in its own standalone app as well as across the iPhone. Apple also spread AI through the apps your customers use all day: suggested replies and messages, a phone app that can pull context from your email while you're on a call, and smarter tab management in Safari. 2 reasons this matters for your business. First, your customers are about to start talking to their phones again, and this time the phone may actually be worth talking to. When someone asks Siri to find a dentist nearby who's taking in new patients, the assistant gives an answer. It does not show page 2 of the search results. Businesses whose information online is accurate, complete, and up to date get recommended. The rest become invisible. Second, there's a strategy lesson in Apple's choice. The most valuable hardware company on the planet looked at the cost of building frontier AI and decided to rent it instead. This means if Apple doesn't build everything in-house, your business really doesn't have to either. On Wednesday, Google announced a set of features in its Gemini app aimed specifically at small business owners. Soon, you'll be able to connect your Google business profile to Gemini with a single tap. And if that name doesn't ring a bell, your Google business profile is the free listing that shows up when customers find you on Google Search or Maps. It shows your hours, your photos, your reviews, and your directions. For a lot of businesses, this is their storefront. Once connected, Gemini stops being a generic chatbot and becomes an assistant that actually knows your business. Ask it how your business did this month, and it analyzes your real data. How many people found you in search? Ask for directions, picked up the phone and called. You can ask for help with that tough new review, and it drafts a response in your brand's voice that references what the customer actually wrote. If you need to change your holiday hours or post a seasonal special, you just ask it. Google is also adding something called Business Notebooks, a workspace that keeps your business context in one place and proactively flags what needs attention. An unanswered customer question, holiday hours you haven't set, even suggestions on pricing and positioning based on your local market. The rollout starts globally this month, though not yet in the EU or UK, and Google says discounted offers for business owners are on the way. So, based off of what we just heard, here are 3 practical moves you can make this week. Move number 1, clean up your Google business profile before AI plugs into it. Tonight, search your business on Google the way a customer would. Is the profile claimed? Are the hours right? Are the photos current? The services listed? The customer questions answered? Here's why this is urgent now. Every assistant we covered today, Gemini, the new Siri, draws on that listing when somebody nearby asks for a business like yours. AI is only as good as the data you hand it. Clean data in, more customers out. This costs nothing but an hour, and it's probably one of the highest AI leverage moves you can make this week. Move number 2, if you or anyone on your team pays for Claude, the new top tier model is included free through June 22nd. Don't just poke at it. Test it deliberately. Pick 3 tasks you actually do every week. Maybe that's drafting customer emails, summarizing documents, analyzing a sales spreadsheet, writing job postings. Run each one through the new model and compare it against whatever you use today. Once you finish, you'll know from your own work, not a vendor's demo, whether the new model moves the needle for your business. Move number 3, start setting some ground rules before AI starts talking to your customers. AI is moving from answering your questions to acting on your behalf. Drafting review replies, updating your listings, responding to messages, so figure out a policy and tell the whole team nothing AI written goes out under your name until a human reads it. This is especially important for anything involving prices, promises, and especially unhappy customers. The tool drafts, you approve. The businesses that get burned by AI won't be the ones that used it, they'll be the ones that stop checking its work. So that's it for today, guys. If you would like to help out the channel, you can leave a like, as well as consider subscribing. That way you can be one of the first to hear any AI news affecting small to mid-sized businesses. All right, that's it. Thanks, everyone.